Hey Gemini, welcome. This is a reading for you for November, so you can get some more insight on your health, where your relationships are going to be, and where your money's going to be. Because November is always an interesting time around family and friends. It's the start of the holiday season, just after October. Um, and what I hope to do is give you some more insight on all of that so you're prepared for what's about to come in November. My name's Seth. I run Comingouttarot.com. Thanks for being here. You can always find out more about me over there or in my bio here on YouTube. But let's get started. Let's figure out where Gemini is focused and what you can expect in November 2018 around your health, your wealth, and your relationships. Let's see. Almost there. Almost there. So they gotta feel like they're in the right order. You know? Do you know? Okay. There we go. Health, wealth, relationships. Oof. So Gemini, this is interesting. You are flanked by two Earth cards. Two Earth cards. There's no water here. There's no fire. So this is actually an interesting experience, I think, to be flanked by two sets of practicality. One of which is a hermit and about holding yourself back a little bit, and one which is the son of Pentacles, and that's putting yourself out there a little bit. So there's this dichotomy, not unusual or unknown to Gemini. My brother's one. I work with a couple of Geminis. You're such a special group in my heart. And even better, we've got a Two of Swords in the middle for your money. So it is not unusual ever, but it always surprises me a little bit. Thanks for that thumbs up. Surprises me a little bit to see the dichotomy of Gemini come out in the readings, just in the cards that we lay down. There's always that duality, and it's amazing to me. It's really actually kind of impressive. So first off, like I was saying, there's a lot of earth here and some air. Not a lot of creation, not a lot of destruction. This just is. So if you think about a plain full of either flowers, like poppies in the Wizard of Oz, or a desert, and there is just a little light breeze, you'll see the flow of the flower, you'll see a little bit of dust from the sand if it even moves. This is your November, this subtlety, this uneventfulness, which is different than the last two signs, Aries and Taurus, that are having a little more dramatic months based on their cards than Gemini is. So Gemini, they may need your solidness, your calmness, your ability to be accepting of where they are and bring your calmness to them at the same time. Hey, Pamela. The health card, let's take a look at that. This is probably the main reason that you've got that subtlety, that relaxedness in November, because it's time to pull back a little bit, specifically around your physical and mental health. So what I would recommend is November is an opportunity to step away from the crowds, to step away from people, and to only be around those people that give you energy, life, support. Try and stay away from all of the negative forces of individuals in your life. If there's a way that you can step away from them, sometimes it may even be, listen, I need to be by myself right now, or thank you for everything you're bringing to me, but I just need some time alone. Whatever it is that can help you keep your your sense of self, secure and protected. The mental health thing that I also alluded to is really probably going to start coming out in your dreams, Gemini. This is going to be, um, there's going to be things that your brain is working through. There are experiences that you've had over the last several months, and your brain's still working it out. It hasn't resolved some of the experiences that you've had over the last several months. In fact, um, one of them is kind of like, I would say, an irritant around money because it's this little troll thing, and these trolly goblin things are always about money for me. So um, I would venture to say one of the irritants is going to be around money, something that keeps coming out in your dreams. You may also find that the path you were on, whatever choices you have been making over the last few months, and the direction that you thought you were going, and probably still are going, is going to also start coming out in your dreams because your brain's still trying to figure out what's next. Like, based on the choices I've made, this should happen, this should happen, this should happen. And your brain's trying to work that out. And Gemini's brains never really shut down anyway. They're constantly thinking about this option, that option, this option, that option. So it's not surprising to you that it'll come out in your dreams. It's just going to be a little more intense if it's something that's normal for you. If it's not something that's normal for you, you're going to experience this, and it's probably going to be a little disconcerting. It's kind of like seeing beyond the veil for a second, and it's a lot to take in if you're not ready for it. So, if you are having that experience of dreams, write them down. Have a journal next to your bed, so when you wake up, you can write them down, or type them, or dictate them into your phone real quick. That'll get them into a space where you can actually think about them logically instead of being left with the residual feeling of the dream, which is sometimes more frustrating than actually thinking about and analyzing the dream itself. All right, that's the health side of things, Gemini. Let's take a look at wealth. Where's your money? This is the Two of Swords. Um, this is choices about financial planning in November. It's gonna come up in November. You're gonna be making some choices about your financial. So it's about your future, right? It's not about the immediate future. It's not about the immediate need. There's not a concern here about how am I going to pay my rent. It is future state. It is how do I ensure that I'm ready and prepared for the future. And you're going to be presented with some choices. This could be something like your work changing your 401k provider, or your benefits package could change, or you could be offered another job, and you have to think about which job do I take when I'm considering my financial picture in several years or for my retirement. It's those kinds of choices that you could be making in November. I thought there was something else here for a second. Yeah, there's the shadow of something that was healthy, that was long lasting, that's going to require your attention. This leads me back to the 401k thing. I think you might have to be making some choices about that. That could be learning that the investments weren't working for you in a way you thought they were, and you need to reallocate your funds. Um, but it's creeping. It's a creeper. It's going to surprise you. So I would dig into your financial picture wherever you think you need to make choices, long-term choices. So this is really around investments. There's some things that are changing. You're going to need to get yourself wrapped around, because it's creeping up on you. All right, relationships. Moving on to relationships, this is the Son of Stones or Chief Seattle from my neck of the woods. Oh, okay. So, Gemini, your relationships get kind of rocky in November. Gem, Moon, and Venus, Leo, Mercury, the mighty comforter for most persons. Ergo, cross-watching responsibilities. I'm a sounding board for multiple Geminis. This is helpful. Awesome. I'm so glad, Pamela. Uh, the the relationships are stormy. They're emotionally stormy. So it's what I'm. And there's like this huge storm, and it's lightning, and so it is occasionally violent. Um, and I don't mean violent like abuse. I mean violent like just mean words. There are relationships you will experience during this time that will just be hurtful to you. People will say things that will be hurtful to you. Um, oh, these bears are back. Why are these polar bears here? So I was doing a reading for someone a little while ago and this card came up. This was a while ago, a couple months ago maybe. And there's an image on this card, and it looks like Siamese polar bear, like Siamese twins, which is that horrible name for conjoined twins. That's what I want to say. They're like conjoined twin polar bears, and I don't quite know what that symbol means because no one's ever seen one before. So it's got to be a symbol for me, and it's a symbol that I'm getting from guides that I connect to, but I don't know what the hell it means. So on the other side of all of this storm, I just need to know what the conjoined polar bears mean. The other side of this storm are these conjoined polar bears. So they're trying really hard to work together, but it's really, really challenging. Um, because one wants to go one way and one wants to go the other, and they're just kind of like biting at each other's faces. So it goes along with this storm idea, except it's just less violent in its vocalness, but starts to become just frustration and rough challenge about how you work together. I'm just talking through how I'm seeing these bears interacting because it is hard um, for them to be successful in getting where they need to go. Perseverance during the month of November in your relationships is going to also be paramount. So not only is it going to be rocky, not only are people going to say mean things to you, and you're going to be frustrated with how your relationships are working. Perseverance is going to get you through the month. So the more that you can hold your head high and either recognize goodness where goodness is, and know that maybe this is a flash in the pan, or realize that maybe the arguments are for a good reason and there are other choices you need to make in order to free yourself, then that's going to be coming further down the line. But right now, you're experiencing a lot of frustration in your relationships. It's not an easy mountain to climb, and it's going to be probably really, really discomforting. Discomforting is a better word, I would say. Not uncomfortable, but discomfort. I don't know why that's more important, but it is. And I feel like your emotional state is just going to be pouring out of you. Like I said, there's no water elements in here. There's no cups cards, but in this is Chief Seattle. He's just got this flow, this waterfall of emotion, and it's because of all these little irritants. It's because of all these horrible things that people say, these challenging words. Um, so what you may need to do is think about where you can protect yourself, Remember, I was saying also you need to pull away from people. This is giving me the full picture now. You need to, when you pull away from people in order to reset and recharge, you're pulling away from some pretty nasty things that people are saying. So it's entirely possible that these are people you're not ready to let go of, nor do you. It's just that really strong bump in a relationship that is later you come back together, you're like, I am so sorry that I was such a horrible person, that kind of thing. Like, I didn't mean to be this awful, but I was going through some shit, and thanks for being there, and I'm really sorry, that kind of thing. And you're gonna be like, I know, it's okay, it's fine, just talk to me next time. All right, so a lot of emotional stuff going on during the month of November from your the relationships that are around you. Pulling yourself back for some self-care is going to be helpful. Writing to those dreams is going to be important because you're going to be working through where your life is headed. And in that financial picture, get on top of where your investments are because they're starting to shift and change, and probably not in a way that you want them to go, but you're making choices about where you're going to be in the future. Guys, Geminis, if this is helpful for you, hit me a thumbs up on there so I know it's helpful. Also, the thumbs up that you give me helps this video get out to other Geminis. It'll put it in their feed so they can see it. And so if you're liking this, you're liking this for other people, and it helps get them the advice they need. So I appreciate those thumbs up for them, not just for me. Also, if you haven't, check me out over at Comingouttarot.com. Do so and follow me and subscribe so we can keep track of each other. And I do hope that you'll sign up for my newsletter. If you do, you get some money off of the year ahead spread where you get to take control over your 2019. If you have any questions about that, shoot me a message over at Comingouttarot.com. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. And I'll be moving on to what I just do. Leo. Moving on to Leo next. Thanks.